welcome to this edition of ET Now Hangouts with me, Ankita Saxena. Well, I'm back with yet another exciting episode of meaningful conversations and latest trends and what's hot for the weekend. Well, have you ever wondered why some people are more successful than the others despite putting in equal amount of hard work and having equal skill set? Well, the answer perhaps lies in the soft skills. Often neglected, it is one of the most important tools to achieving success at workplace and interpersonal relationships. So, to help you nail that first impression, I caught up with the popular etiquette coach and corporate trainer, Seema Puri. So, let's go across and take a look at this conversation. Hi Seema, welcome to ET Now Hangouts. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
My pleasure all the way.
So Seema, like right off the bat, let's get started with what you do, your line of work. But, these days, one cannot do without building personal brand. If you want to get ahead in life, in your career, in life in general, you have to have a strong personal brand. How does one go about building the strong personal brand through etiquettes and through soft skills?
Starting with knowing yourself, what you stand for, what your goals are, and then representing and reflecting the same in your attire, in your persona, is a very simple answer to it.
Yeah.
You could do it with body language, your attire, the way you behave, your verbal communication, your non-verbal communication, and that's what you're going to represent and impact and influence your audience with.
Right. Also, more often than not, people tend to overlook the importance of soft skills, right? One tends to look at the degrees, the work experience, but soft skills are often overlooked. What are soft skills and how can one develop soft skills over time?
So soft skills, very rightly said, are overlooked. Yeah. So studies say that 85% of your success depends upon soft skills and not hard skills. So the new hard skills are the soft skills. Okay, what are soft skills? Is simply everything which is not taught in the books, not taught in the school, which are so essential, and of course they uplift and open doors to your opportunities and to your success. So I would say soft skills are all those skills which are not technical skills, meaning networking skills, team collaboration skills, communication skills, stress management, anger management, leadership qualities, and so on. So how do you start on your soft skill journey is simply reflect on how people are perceiving you. Are you reflecting or representing your goals, your professionalism in the way that people are supposed to see, or are you looking something different? Are you looking like a gym trainer in a corporate office? Right. To make that very clear. Right. Are you looking at like a boss at home or a homemaker at your workplace, or not looking professional? Right. So is the answer. So self-assessment and then taking professional help.
So very interesting, but you mentioned the more apparent part, right? And I was coming to that. More often than not, when you meet someone, the first thing you look at is the more apparent, how they walk, how they talk, how they dress. And I think dressing is a very essential part of creating your own personal branding. I mean, the wardrobe essentials. So if you want to get started with that, what are the key essential things that you need to have in your wardrobe? Because more often than not, people judge a book by the cover.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I would like to say that human beings are very, very visual. Yes. So everything that you see from the outside and is very, very important. So you got to take care of it. So of course, like you said, everybody judges a book by its cover, which is true. You should not, but it is true. Yeah. Starting with your wardrobe essentials, I would say it depends upon the organization or what you are standing up for, or what your occupation, or what is the message or the impact that your audience is looking at. So going on to professional, your attire should be very professional and sharp in terms of what you're wearing. It depends upon starting with, if you're working for a corporate office, starting with a very tailored blazer, well-fitted trousers, crisp white shirt, not wrinkled, accessories which are not screaming out of attention, your perfumes, every little details is talking about you without talking. So people are perceiving you on everything. If your if you are wearing brands with logos, big and loud, so you are giving a certain kind of impression. Your fabrics are very important. Are they clingy? Are they flowy? Are they satin? No, it's not acceptable.
Right.
So the fabrics, the prints, the texture, everything matters. Coming to the shoes have to be formal. They can't be, of course, the grooming has to be there. Your hair should be looking good. Your makeup, spick and span for girls. Not too loud again. No red lipsticks. You could attract the wrong attention. So all this matters.
All right. So if I had to ask you to create a capsule wardrobe for workplace, what would be the top 5 essential things that you'd include?
I would include, in terms of, are you asking for a female or a male?
Maybe
Both.
a unisex,
Okay.
a unisex wardrobe.
So it again depends upon, if you're working for a fashion house, then of course you could wear what the fashion house represents, or if you're on a creative side. But if you're working for a corporate, if you're working for as an educator, there is a certain way that you have to present yourself. Okay. You cannot be entangled with the muffy chunnis and here and there, your clothes going here. It should not interrupt your working. Right. It should align with your persona. Right. It should align with what you do. Right. So it would include a couple of trousers in Western wear, well fitted again, not too tight, not too loose, crisp shirts, blazers, nice elegant belts. This is, I'm talking about ladies. Nude lipsticks, no shouting out of, studs which are very elegant and subdued. Right. Necklaces and nice watch. So everything has to be aligned.
So what role does body language play in creating the first impression or creating an impression, and how should one inculcate a good body language, and what comprises of a good body language?
So you will again be surprised that your non-verbal communication occupies 93% of your communication, and only 7% of your communication is verbal communication. Right. And everybody just focuses on speaking skills, and we are not focusing on how we are speaking without speaking. Right. So non-verbal language or body language plays a very, very important role. It starts from your eye contact. It starts from your smile, your positivity, your shoulders, your posture, your hand gestures. You're showing your hands. If you are sitting like with your clenched hands, it's bringing a wall between you and me. So your body is talking all the time. So you need to align. So the way you sit, the way you stand, the appropriate distance, which I call the personal space. Everything is very important and overrides your verbal communication. Your resume or your hard skills are going to be ignored once these are not put on forth or are not given eminent importance. Right. So body language is so important. For example, if you're missing eye contact, you are showing less of confidence. Your chin is moving below, you are looking submissive. So too high a chin, overconfidence. Okay. Flat, it should be parallel to the floor. Okay. This is the right way. Like I said, missing the smile on your face, you are looking grumpy. You have either the traffic on your face or the anxiety or whatever. So a smile it's like a mask. It just brings about the charisma, the confidence, the presentability on your face. And you look as if you're ready. Coming back to hand gestures, the more hands you show, it brings about the credibility. Right. So if I'm going to clench my hands, no pointers, of course. So even the politicians or the global leaders know about body language. And whenever they have to talk to the audience, they will not talk with pointers like you. They will use this is a soft pointer. They'll probably say, okay, can I ask you a question there and there?
This is a
soft pointer. So this, you could analyze, how does this feel? How does this feel? This is like an AK-47 pointing. Yeah. It's aggressive. Yeah. So ushering hands. Right. So use your hands in a structured way. I've seen a lot of people using their hands unknowingly in all the directions, which simply confuses the audience. You have to use in a functional way. For example, you could talk about 3 tips, lines. Okay, I want to talk about this or that. I would love to see my company rise. I would love to talk about, I want all of you to come together, collaborative hands. So how, and if you do not structure your hands with your words, again, you will simply confuse. You want to see how I do it? It's something like, Ankita, can I ask you a small favor?
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
So how does this feel? And Ankita,
Looks like a big favor.
yes. And how about Ankita, I would like a small favor.
Right.
Okay, this was a little exaggeration just to tell you how important the body language is. And you have to speak from the heart. It is nice to keep your hands on your chest. It just adds more emotions. So it's like, hi, I heard about your whatever, the sad news. So body language just enhances your communication, your in a very effective way. So use it to your advantage and do not confuse your audience or the person that you are talking. Don't distract them. Today, if I talk to you and I'm talking with hands like this, obviously I'm looking very pensive, like this, like this. I'm looking nervous. If I'm attending a corporate meeting and I'm curling my hand, obviously I'm not going to look professional. So lots and lots of things. So know what your body is doing.
Okay, it's a big... So Seema, we have a very young audience that watches our show, and in fact some of them are getting started out with their careers. Tell us, what is the perfect way to create a good impression for a job interview?
First of all, please be on time.
Absolutely.
Please be on time, go with the positivity. Make sure you're wearing the clothes of success and the clothes of confidence.
Right.
Make sure you're well groomed, shaves done, nicely worn attire, ironed, crisp shirt, shoes, everything. When you enter with confidence. Make sure you silent your phone. Let your interview not get interrupted by anything. It's you and the interviewer. Introduce yourself with confidence. Introduce yourself with a handshake, a firm handshake. Introduce with a firm handshake. Maybe if you get an opportunity, present yourself with good etiquette, ask for permission, and then, and I always give a very strong tip, and I think it's very useful tip, is when you're announcing your name, announce it instead of saying it. It's
How do
like,
you do that?
How do you do that? It's like, hi, I'm Seema Puri. It's like, hi, Ankita, I'm Seema Puri. It's like announcing your name is presenting yourself.
Okay.
Okay? And then you could act yourself as being calm and presentable.
Okay, that's a great tip. All right, Seema, so we have spoken about how to create that good first impression. Let's talk an impression that lasts, how to make yourself memorable. How do you create those subliminal impressions for someone to remember you?
Very, very important question, and I like this question. How do you become memorable? It's simply by being mindful, care for the other person, be a good listener. If you are the one who is just talking, it's a monologue. It's not a conversation. A conversation is a two-way process. You listen more. Why does God have, given us 2 ears and 1 mouth? We need to listen twice as more than we speak. And making the other person being heard is a very understated love language. I wouldn't like to, when you're talking on a personal conversation, that is the answer I would give.
Right.
But when you're talking about meeting new people, of course, be a good listener, making the other person feel important. Active listening, just not listening. How do you actively listen? Is asking questions, paraphrasing, giving eye contact, not getting distracted. And this is going to get your conversation connected to that person.
All right. that's a good way of creating a lasting impression on someone. But what do you tell, you say to people who probably probably have certain insecurities about their personal image, or people who don't know how to get started? How do you start developing that confidence?
It simply starts by assessment, and then working on their confidence is how about telling them to focus on their body language, to rehearse with them, to practice small talk, giving them tools and honing on certain tools which would help them start a conversation. So all this builds up a little conversation, teaching them how to introduce themselves, making an effort and building in, building up their self-esteem is a start towards their new journey.
Okay. So Seema, you consult a lot of corporates. You go around, you consult them on image and etiquette. So tell us, is there any latest social etiquette trend that you have picked up?
Not a social trend, but I feel that vocal branding is one of the things that I would ask the professionals to work upon. Okay. So your voice represents your brand, your personality. And most of the people do not even know how their voice sounds. So is your voice immature? Is your voice sounding childish? Is your voice sounding like a leader? Okay. So you need to train your voice according to the person that you are representing. Okay. So this is called vocal branding. Your voice is your power.
So how do you do that? How do you go about training your voice?
So you have to analyze where are you speaking from. So we record the voice, we analyze, and we make them hear. So technically, it is said that if you are speaking from anywhere from here above, your voice is considered to be childish, unreliable, and not trustworthy. It's something like, oh, I really want to do this.
A high-pitched.
Yes, it's not high-pitched, it's the voice coming out from the nose.
Oh, nasal voice.
Nasal voice. Okay. When the voice becomes a deeper voice, it sounds...
A bass sound.
Yes, a bass sound, or when you speak from your diaphragm, is a voice which adds on depth to your words. It's something like I'm talking from here, then here.
Seema, this part has always fascinated me a lot, because all of us are born with a certain voice or certain voice quality, right? And you have to train your voice, like you mentioned, to sound more effective in communication. And so, what tips do you give to to people who you train for voice? Could you give us a quick tips how to train your voice?
Like I would say, we are born with a voice. Yes. God has given us this instrument, right. But how to use it and how to play it is in our hands. Okay. So we ignore it. We don't even know how we are talking. So if I'm talking like this, hi Ankita, I would like to talk about the 3 tips and this, I am just losing on, attracting a lot of, attention from the audience.
Right.
So I've got to add on pitch. Pitch adds on where to focus on. If there's something important like, I want you to focus here right now. So the emphasis is, I'm just being a better communicator. I using these elements of the voice, like the tone, the pitch, to draw your attention to what is important and what is not.
Right.
So how effectively are you using your voice, your body in your communication to express yourself and then become a master communicator is an art.
Absolutely, I'm sure this is an art, and I think through this episode a lot will be learnt of this art and the other etiquettes and social communication. Thank you so much, Seema, for taking the time out and making it to our studios.
Thank you so much, Ankita.
And well, it is that time of the show where we get you what's trending for the week. Well, young Indians are shifting away from splurging on traditional retail and fast-moving consumer goods as per brokerage firm CLSA's latest report. They are increasingly spending on events, eating out, traveling, luxury and premium goods to fashion and cosmetics. To strengthen this argument, the report highlighted that the ticket sales of 4 major upcoming concerts, the Coldplay, Diljit Dosanjh, Dua Lipa and Bryan Adams, sold out rapidly, ranging in a staggering 350 to 400 crore rupees. Well, to get you more dope on this story, my colleague Sharad is joining us today.
Well, yes, the Sunday was very busy for all of us mostly, and of course, hard luck to most of us as we couldn't get our hands on Coldplay's tickets. But let's look at how this culture has actually panned out. But first, 3 sold out shows already in Mumbai. Already, because of so much traffic which was coming in and the demand coming in, Coldplay and the organizers had to act the third. You could say the play coming in, and this was sold out in minutes. Now, this is the first performance for Coldplay in India since 2016. The pricing ranges, they're ranging between 3,500 to 35,000 rupees. But in the secondary ticket market, if you look at it via GoGo and a lot of other European reselling websites, they have been putting it out for 4 to 10x. That is the amount of flip which we are getting. And of course, incidentally, these flips are more than what we are seeing in the SME IPO space as well. Also, interestingly, more tickets would be released on November 22nd. If you are a die-hard fan, try again. And also 1.3 crore audience had locked in on Sunday when it comes to Book My Show. Now let's look at some numbers. What are the average expected prices which would be coming in for their Asia Oceania tour? Melbourne, it's ranging between $160 to $174. These are the average ticket prices. Auckland is on the lower side, which is coming in with roughly $48 to $54. And look at Mumbai. Look at the amount. It's almost double of Melbourne, also coming in at almost $280 to $320 rupees per ticket. Now, these are average prices. Also, there is certain general sales which is expected to happen for the remaining Asia leg. Abu Dhabi, it starts on September 27th, same for Seoul, and for Hong Kong, it's on October 10th. But also, let's look at this second half of this calendar year 2024 and the first half of calendar year 25. Live events, Diljit Dosanjh, 2.5 lakh tickets sold. More than 25,000 rupees is an average price coming in for this concert. Also, Lollapalooza, it's a 2-day event. Green Day and Shawn Mendes are headlining this event, and the rate is going up more than 9,000 rupees for this 2-day extravaganza. Dua Lipa, she will be coming in October. Over here, 8,000 rupees is the average prices. And also, Karan Aujla, he's doing an Indian tour, expecting more than 8,000 odd rupees, which is the average ticket prices. But now let's look at the business end of it, how big this media and industry expected to go up. The average spending over here went up by 29%. And by 2026, an addition of 76,200 crores is expected. CAGR growth is almost 8%, and the live events contribution, if we take it as a separately, that's coming at almost 5,500 crore rupees over the next 3 years as well.
Well, clearly, India's consumption landscape is changing leaps and bounds. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of ET Now Hangouts. I'll see you next week, same time. See you soon.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.